Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode number 15 second series of the Stevenage Football Club podcast, hosted by myself and Stevenage supporter Matt Farley, along with other Stevenage supporters discussing everything Stevenage, everything League 2, every week of the season. Joining me today, two regulars. We've all got happy faces because we've had two back-to-back wins. The first time, is it the first time since 2019, boys?
First time since May 2019 we've won back-to-back games, yeah.
Righty. That's been too long, hasn't it? Too long since back-to-back wins.
Yeah, it's bittersweet, I guess, because you got to think about it. We're happy that we've won and finally getting on maybe a little bit of form. But you got to think how long we've been without it. It's just
we've been
not
starved.
Good read. Yeah,
it's great, isn't it? It's great to see us. It's really funny. I was discussing with someone the other day, and I was saying, how great is the matches gone to have 20 points and point per game average over the moon. And someone said to me, yeah, but that's not a very good kind of stat. And I said, you don't understand what it is to be a Stevenage fan. That is
really is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. Matthew, welcome back, Dan, and Reece. Honestly, welcome back, Reece.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Afternoon, yeah, or whatever it is.
Whenever they may be listening to this.
Yeah, well.
Well, good morning in there too.
Actually, from our listeners in, where is it? Vietnam,
Thailand,
Barbados, even America. They're in there as well. No, we've got quite a few from USA. I wonder if that's the whole of David Valentine's family. The Valentines.
Hi, David.
Hi, David.
Did you see that? Did you see that video from that American kid who was talking? He was going, "Would you have Effie play for Stevenage?" Did you watch that?
We don't need Messi, mate. We got Charlie Carter.
We have just got Charlie Carter. We've got Luke Norris. Come on.
I don't think Lionel Messi and Luke Norris have ever been compared in their lives.
Yeah, but he's born in Stevenage. He's one of our own now. That's got to be the song, isn't it? Luke Norris is one of our own, surely, when we come back to watching the team play.
Yeah, well, that's if he's there next season. If he is here next season, then yes.
Incredible, isn't it? Incredible. But boys, thank you for joining me today on this lovely evening in January, currently in lockdown. How's your lockdown experience going from a day?
It's pretty boring, really, isn't it? It was just work and it's near enough. I think I've said the same thing before when we had the lockdown in November. It's played football earlier and just been at work as normal, and obviously watching back on the iPhone. It's nothing really different.
Yeah, I just religiously read up on our Stevenage in lockdown. I train and I train quite hard and I do my personal training, but not much else to do. Do you know what I mean? And obviously do the Boro Pop. I mean, that's got to be up there as one of our highlights. The staple of our lives, after all. And we'll look back on these next season when we're still in League 2, by the way. And we'll talk about these podcasts that we did, talking about our beloved Stevenage Football Club and the way that we had to do it over the phone because we couldn't meet up in person. Anyway, I'll remind everyone when we're in 2028.
It's been too long since I've seen your face.
And I think it has, isn't it? But you watch, we'll probably do it in 2028 when the tears finally get reduced.
When we're finally allowed to stand back and I'll designate you to stop.
We'll all be old blokes. But welcome to the Stevenage Football Club podcast in 2028. There you go. Yeah, boys, thanks for joining me today. Big podcast today. It's been quite a good week supporting our beloved Stevenage. Last week we were kind of, we come off the back of two really good results, didn't we? The point at Cheltenham and the big win against Cambridge. I think we all thought that, the game against Scunthorpe again, it would be great if we could win it again. And obviously we went out there, played like a proper League 2 team, I thought. Real quality, got the 3-1 win, and it put our lovely Boro in a 22nd place with 20 points and 20 games gone. So a point per game sees our Stevenage at the bottom two. Boy. Yeah,
given us our form recently, it's a relatively okay position.
Yeah, boys, come on, let's talk about it. Great win, great position. It's quite nice to see 4 wins on the table, isn't it?
it's quite sad, but at the same time, obviously it's a massive relief, but it's also quite sad that 4 wins in a season is an achievement for us at the moment.
Yeah, I think every win is looked upon like we've won a cup final, isn't it? Like, oh, we've won a game of football.
I mean, you know what? If we keep doing it, keep winning, and we keep treating them like cup finals, I will 100% take that.
I quite enjoy rarely winning, because when we do win, it feels like it's party time. It feels like we've achieved something major.
It really makes it better.
That really shouldn't be the way, should it? Like, if you actually think like deep into it, like it's bad, isn't it? Like celebrate, like wins should be second nature, shouldn't they? But because of the amount of crap we've had as Stevenage, whenever we win, it's like this amazing moment of feeling.
4 wins, boys.
Oh,
thing is,
I think it's one of the best things over 3 years. You know what I mean?
Thing is, I can guarantee we're going to get overconfident and then lose a couple in a row and then win a couple in a row and then get overconfident again and so on.
Reds will go from God to Satan to God to Satan.
And then hopefully just neutral when we say
I'm going to stick my neck
God to you.
I'm going to stick my neck out the line. I said this to Reece before we started the podcast. With the back-to-back wins, and both of them was so big for us. Like we did it just off the podcast, you know, first back-to-back wins since 2019. But for this Stevenage team to win 2 games in a row and get up to 20 games out of the box, I said all season, I see potential in this team. With the new signings as well, which we'll come on to talk about in a little bit, I don't just see us staying up. I actually see us going on a run of things where we put some positive results together like we're doing, and I think we'll climb up the table with the new signings we've got as well. On paper, it's not a team that should be in the bottom 3. It really isn't. And I expect us to start slowly but surely climb the league table now.
I think there has to be progress, doesn't there? I think we've all seen major signs of progress in the last 3 or so games, and it's just about keeping that up and ultimately getting the results. We're far from out of it. I think we're out of it on goal difference, aren't we? So we have the 2 games in hand, which is obviously a bonus, but yeah. The second half of the season, let's win some more games.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's really nice because we've still got 3 games to go to the halfway point. To have half the amount of 40 points already big for the club and the team.
Well, with 3 points from overtaking last season's points,
yeah, I know, it's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible, but yeah, look, I think this team. I was so impressed with the win against Scunthorpe. I thought the football that he played was brilliant, and the amount of progression and improvement we've made over 3 months is you know, it's great to see over the trajectory point from September to now in January. I fully believe we're going to climb the league table. You know, we've said it all season. You know, you said it, Reece, didn't you? The stats don't lie. The stats don't suggest that we were going to get better. So I fully believe that we can climb the league table. I think Dean Wilkins has made a massive impact. The football we're playing now, you know, we're playing League 2 football. We're not just getting the ball being direct with it. We're passing, we're playing the ball on the deck. And that's
I think it's one of those things where Wilkins has walked in. It's a little bit chaotic at the time because I think he came in when we was bottom. And he's probably just been a nice, calm voice to Reds as much as the players. Okay, Wilkins has made an impact. Yes, the 2 week break probably helped us in the fact to calm us all down. Yes, Jack Aitchison coming back has improved us, but this hasn't happened by miracle. We've never been that far away from it. So to make up the small thing that always took us from the losses to the victories is huge, because we now know that it is there. To score 3 goals at home, first time in, I don't even want to think.
Was it since Oldham?
He is
I'm
older.
looking at March.
3-0.
Well, Portsmouth, but in the league.
Yeah, it was
probably
Oldham.
that March time, isn't it?
No, it was Oldham is in August.
Right, so my thing's kind of broken now, but you get the point. Score so many goals at home.
Only once.
Yeah,
and it's good to see like not just us saying there's potential there, and I know we said this before, but this isn't just one win and wow, we're doing okay. We've picked up a couple wins, and it's not against bad teams either. Obviously, we played well against Cheltenham on Boxing Day as well. So it's potential that we all thought was there, and it's finally showing, and it's just kind of satisfying to see it's there.
Yeah.
Even if we say lose a couple of the next, say 5 games, I wouldn't be entirely gutted as long as we do keep up some sort of form and
that's now
prove ourselves, really.
7, isn't it? We were in
It's 1 already,
not
I think.
scintillating form before Christmas, but was in okay form. I mean, teams who lose 1 game in 7 don't get relegated, and they probably don't end up in that picture. I think sometimes the easy job is turning a bunch of losers into a team that draw games, a la Big Sam, than turning a drawing team into a winning team. And clearly, the difference has been finally added, whether that may be Dean Wilkins, but I don't want to credit Dean Wilkins so much where we take it away from Revs and Mark and all these people that are here, mostly Revs, who is the manager, because this is his team, basically.
And we know it was always there. We know it was always there, and I get sometimes one assistant manager or one player can make a difference, but we've seen the potential there all season. Obviously, it just needed that someone to unlock it, and clearly it's just a good combination which has helped everyone on the side, because I don't know who I can point out that played badly in these last 3 games. I don't think I can think of a single one.
Yeah, I think it's been a collective effort, isn't it? You know, when we recruited the team that we did back, you know, around the time when we found out we were going to be in League 2 again and have to see, I think we were all very optimistic because we signed some good players, and it looked like the team was going to be.
It was all very positive because of the situation.
Yeah,
None of us
it was
to be there. That team that was recruited was exciting, but it wasn't. Let's be fair, it wasn't League 2 quality.
I completely agree.
We had the time for both. For
me, the whole of the season, I've seen some really positive performances in quite a few of the games. I can pick out the Harrogate game away, for example, where we drew the game and we probably should have won the game on the chances we had.
Definitely should have won.
And there was some really positive performances, but I feel like we just didn't do enough and weren't playing some of those games. Also. Yeah, Bolton as well. To get the win. Very important point you just made is about turning the season drawing something to winning it can be very difficult. The great thing for me is we've had that break, haven't we? We've then got the point of Boxing, which I thought was a massive point of confidence after losing to a team in a similar place 2 weeks prior. And then the 2 weeks for the team are massive. But I credit Revs. I think Revs has done a great job, along with Mark, to really stick in there and keep trying to play the same
It'd be very easy
football
for Revs and Mark after Bolton, where he basically says his players aren't good enough, or games after that, after Carlisle, just to go, you know what? I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't prepared to be thrown in this situation. And it would have been very easy to change methods. We've become an ugly long ball team, which I don't think we've ever been. And for him to lose their way, but we haven't, and that is something to be admired.
Yeah.
Because it is now producing what we
expected.
What we, us three, and a few others obviously expected. And
well, this is it. This is why this is why I'm so happy with the arrival of Dean Wilkins, because I think we've been so close to getting things right, and a lot of the time it just hasn't gone that way. And Wilkins has come in, a little bit of experience, managed some big organisations in the past, come in and probably just use his experience and, you know, and probably advise Reds on a few little things that we could be doing differently. And Dom, who's come out, 3 really good results, unbeaten 3, 7 points to 9, back-to-back wins, and 20 points out of 20. And now, you know, momentum is a big thing in football. It always has been, it always will be. A team that has been, and it's not just momentum, it's a team that has been not winning, really, any games of football. When a team like that then finds a winning format, starts to win games, the momentum can take a team so far. And the
momentum is the most important thing in football.
And the one thing that I see with this Stevenage team now is momentum. We've got 2 wins in a row. We're unbeaten 3 games. You know, we're scoring goals. We've only conceded 2 goals in 3 games. Momentum's a big thing, and with the new signings that we've just made, that we're going to talk about in a little bit, I really back this Stevenage team to climb up the table. And you know what? I think we've got some very exciting seasons ahead, if we can stay up this season. But great, isn't it? It puts a smile on all our faces to know that it seems, I'm not gonna, you know, ruin the bucket yet, but it seems from an outside point of view that we are starting to turn the ship after a long, horrid 18 months.
I think the thing for me is, obviously against Cambridge, obviously it's a fantastic result, but let's be honest, it was a scrappy game, and it was whoever fought hardest won. In Scunthorpe, for me, we outclassed them, quite frankly, and obviously we conceded the early goal as well. That's the first time we've come back
to win in how long?
To win since MK Dons.
Jesus.
Kennedy's free kick. And that November 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So the boys who have been here since then, most, I think it's just Scott and guys like that, they can now throw their shoulders back and breathe, because this is now becoming a different Stevenage. I think we carried that hangover a bit in terms of
not scoring
immediately, and then we're not scoring, and then, as we said, we saw a lot of similar habits, and then you're like, sugar. And then you have the players who, no offence to them, I think the good thing with this team is they all try, but there are players who, quite frankly, just not the level. You can see that with the players we brought in. But yeah, for me, that performance against Scunthorpe, especially first half, fills me with pride. And the last time maybe whole aside, that's the first time in a long while I can say I've been proud of the Stevenage team.
Yeah, I think it's so good to kind of have the weight taken off our backs from, you know, the burden that has been over the club about football in the last 18 months. For me, what was big about the win Saturday was, I think it was the first time in a long time where I've been very happy and confident to say, yeah, I can see this turning around now. Again, you know, that goes through the whole of the start of this season, that goes through the whole of last season. It's been the real first time where I've kind of, with a real smile on my face, said, I believe that Stevenage Football Club is now going forward, and we're going in the right direction rather than always looking over our shoulder. And I think it was a big win. It's a massive positive. And
I also don't think that we're panicking anymore. I think because from the I think it was from the 12th. I think we led from the 20th, around 20 to 25th. It was both those goals were scored last 2 games against Cambridge, and the goal to go ahead against Scunthorpe, we held on a 1-goal lead for 80 plus minutes. Obviously, there was 6 minutes added time the other day as well, which obviously we capitalised on. But I can't remember a time where we've properly held out and it's not been, we've been dominated and we got lucky. Yes, maybe Scunthorpe could have done a bit better. But it was more end to end rather than them having a lot of chances.
Let's be fair, this league is poor defensively. It's about how you capitalise on the mistakes. There will be mistakes because it's League Two. We haven't capitalised on enough mistakes. I mean, last season, Cowley at Walsall, Watts at Scunthorpe, Taylor at Mansfield. I could list off so many chances where we wouldn't have been in the you stayed up on PPG, Macclesfield situation. We would have been so many points clear. So many chances. But this
is,
so I was just going to say, I don't see, like, last season what strikers we had, no disrespect to them, but I don't see OT's goal happening. I don't see the strikers we had last season, bar maybe Cowley, that would drive that hard to get that to get that goal. I don't see
but do you
the
know
players, anyone last season doing the same thing. I don't know.
Do you know what it is for me though that has made me really proud to support Stevenage, and it's the football that we are now playing, that we played against Scunthorpe. I'll use Scunthorpe as an example. Is League Two quality, and the best part of 18 months. I mean, you could say this season as well, but not so much this season because there has been good performances this season. But for a long, long time, we at Stevenage haven't played good enough football to stay in this division. It's been a case of, last year was so poor, the performances were so bad, the football was so dreadful to watch. But what made me proud, I sat there, against Cambridge as well, but I sat there against, when we played Scunthorpe on the weekend, and I was so proud to see the Stevenage team play with real League Two quality. And again, it was the first real time in a long time where I've gone, yeah, do you know what? We're going forward now. We're turning this now, aren't we?
Yeah, it's not just a one-off performance. Like,
no, it's not.
Obviously, we're now looking back at Oldham. That I don't know if that was a one-off. I think just Oldham's just really crap.
Oldham was a one-off.
I don't, not a one-off, but I mean, as in it was only a glimpse. It was only
we said
what we could
didn't
do,
we?
but we didn't keep it up.
We said it on here. We apologise for the voice crack.
I think people are laughing. There's no need to apologise.
We got results, and then we stopped it. And this time, we're playing football the way we want to, and we stuck with it, and stuck with it, and stuck
yeah, it's the 4-4-2.
It's
4-4-2 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 4-4-2. It's now flat 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But it's not 4-4-2 in terms of long ball. There is long balls, of course, but in terms of that we stuck with it this time.
Do you know what it is for me? Big for us as a small football club. We're winning our own games now. You know, we've got all of the wins have come at home. I've got it in front of me, right? I just thought I'd just have a quick peek again. We've had 10 games at home, and we've picked up 14 points. So we've nearly got half the amount of points that we could have picked up from 30. We're banging really in the middle of that form. That's huge for us, and I think if we're going to stay up, which I'm sure we will, we've got to win our home games. Probably solely stay up on the home field anyway, but that's a really important thing for me. Is making the Lamets a bit of a how it used to be, and I'm really proud of that. We're winning our home games
recently and look forward to playing us.
Because just looking at the replies and to all the signings we've made and all the quote tweets and all the retweets and everything, we've got teams that don't want to play us. I've seen Bradford fans making up random rules because they don't like that we've made new signings after the game was rearranged. and Colchester, they're not looking forward to facing us either. I did see the odd fan as well saying that they don't want to face us at the moment,
We
especially
mean
the,
business.
new teams
That's
at the
what-
moment.
Well,
Yeah,
look, we're 10th. We're 10th in form table of the last 8 games. We're 10th. We picked up 12 points.
and that's
Things are on, it's all about progress, yeah? And I think one of the main things that I look to every season supporting Stevenage side is the progress from the start of the season. I do it every season. I have a look at a quarter of the way and a half the way and 3/4 of the way and at the end. I always want to see progress. And the progress that we've seen with this team from August to now, on the roller coaster type of trajectory that we've had, is very evident. The progress and the improvement has been quite big, probably since November. I don't think we obviously lost to Carlisle 4-0, but in and around that, the progress has come quite a long way. And I believe in this team. I believe that this team could be a project that we've had for a couple of years at the club, a few years, and we play very successful football. And it looks very exciting. And I'll reiterate again, it's the first real time where I've gone, yeah, do you know what? After the 18 months we've had to endure, Stevenage are finally going forward rather than going to the side or backwards. And it's great to see. It's a big win against Scunthorpe. A big win.
I'm looking forward to watching this, and that's the big thing. It's no longer, I suppose I better put the game on.
there's motivation to watch the game. So
Well,
like,
it's
you
just-
click on the game, watch the game.
It's gutting that we can't
smiles
go.
on faces.
You know,
They're playing with smiles on faces. It's the win-win at the minute.
It's just gutting that we can't go and see this project come to light now. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the only disheartening thing. Hopefully we get to do that this season, and hopefully next season I think it's going to be a really exciting season for us if we can stay up. But yeah, I think that's the only thing for us, just not being able to go to the games. But, fellas, three words for me. 3 words, and I want you to react straight away. Lines, Stevens, Norris. What the fuck how have we signed those?
Going to Wembley. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, please
Getting
disclose that you're joking.
Getting promoted 2021.
We begged,
Cracking sign.
basically. Let's be honest. We begged Phil Wallace to back Rev, and get players good enough.
We've been going on it for ages. We've been going on about it for ages and ages, and
how many
clearly,
podcasts? We must have done 3 podcasts where we went, just back Rev, Phil.
I think to me, it's
clearly they
Revs,
listened.
Well, what it was to me, it's let Revs have the power. You know, like, I know obviously Leon is a big part of the recruitment, but Revs is the manager. Let Revs have the power of the signings.
And it looks like these are his players, especially with them coming in so early as well.
It does, doesn't it? Well, it's when he said about Chris Lyons. I spoke to Chris Lyons at the Football League Trophy game away at Northampton. It kind of shows that,
let's be
he's a
real.
big player.
Luke Norris isn't the type of player we've signed over the years, maybe with the exception of Rose himself, really.
Yeah.
We've got what we needed, and that's a huge positive for me. And the signing we're going to make this team a much, much better team. And as fans who saw the triple signing said, we mean business now.
Yeah, a lot of them are saying, "Oh, fair play for a team near the bottom of the league. Fair play for them doing this." Wow, they really do mean business. Like how they pulled
We've
this off.
messed about
A lot of
now.
those.
There's no more messing about. We want to win football games.
I tell you, it's another reason what makes me more proud to support Stevenage Football Club. The signings are, I say we needed these 3 signings, which I fully believe we do, but they are fabulous signings. Luke Norris is someone that I kind of wanted at Boro before. There was a moment when he was playing for Swindon, and I remember seeing that he was actually born in Stevenage, and I was like, why have we never tried to sign this player.
Well,
Stevenage.
I was told he was never like a fan of like playing football, and then it just comes to him, and then you see him scoring 10 goals a season.
Yeah,
in League Two, and you're like, oh, we'll let that happen.
For me, on paper, and I know that we signed Guthrie, and you can look upon Guthrie as, you know, as a Football League striker as well, but on paper, he's one of the best signings we've made as a striker in a few years, I believe.
Probably. Yeah, it's only really Rev.
Norris,
apart from Rev. And Rev was 35. Norris is 27.
Luke Norris is very simply a League Two goal scorer. Very simply. I saw someone say the other day he's prolific. I mean, I wouldn't say
not prolific.
He's not prolific, but he is a League Two goal scorer. It's very simple. Look, the guy scores goals in League Two. Not only that, he's a big guy. He's a thick-set guy. He's very physical. He can hack it in the tough games.
And probably going to
absolutely fabulous player.
Probably going to do the least analytical thing I've said when speaking about Herrera. He's a bastard, and he doesn't do much apart from score. But that's what we need.
Yeah.
But that's what we needed. He's powerful. He's strong. He gets away with a lot of fouls, unlike some of our other strikers, Kof Newt. He's horrible to play against. No defender opposition supporter has ever watched Luke Norris and gone, oh, I like playing against him.
Yeah, I doesn't do much Stevenage.
I've
wanted him down for years. Ever since he played for Swindon and Gillingham, I've always really liked him. But for me, and I said this to you boys off the podcast, I look at this team, and we've said all season that this team has got potential to do big things in the seasons ahead. But I look on paper now, and I read some names out, right? Tom Pett, Jack Aitchison, Scott Cuthbert, Charlie Carter, Chris Lyons, Luke Norris, Matty Stevens, Ben Coker. Those players are top-end League Two players. A lot of those players, in a lot of their career, have been used to playing up the top in League Two. I mean, Chris Lyons was promoted. Tom Pett played for Lincoln. Jack Aitchison's at Forest Green. Stevens is the same. These players really, I know obviously Charlie Carter's down there with us last season, but it's got the potential to play for a team up there. These players are top-end League Two lads. And on paper, and obviously we've got to see it evolve now over the next 26 league games and cup games. But on paper, I look at this team now and I think, on paper, we really do have a team that should be in the top half of the table. Really? And some of these players.
Things in it, when you write it down, you go, wow.
you literally look and think, hell, didn't you? You know?
But at least now it's three players that most teams in League Two would want. Like you'd look at our squad and you wouldn't think that many teams. You'd think the odd player would like say Newt, Cuthbert, Pross, Coker. They think, oh yeah, we'll have him.
But look how far we've come in a year, right? This time last year, I don't want to offend anyone. We made signings like Kenise Carroll, right?
Yeah.
And Jake Cassidy. I don't want to offend anyone.
Right? Them out, right?
No, I don't want to offend anyone. I like
Cassidy.
Yeah, I
throw that in there.
But you know, if you compare and see the progress from a year ago, the players we signed in that window, to now we've just signed Lyons, Stevens, and Luke Norris. What makes me proud is the progression and the process that we are now making with the players that we are recruiting now. I think we have what it is we have a fabulous little football club. And I think what it is with Stevenage is there is a lot of opportunity to really grow as a club. the marketing that we've got going on at our club is massive. Everything to do with the Burger King is obviously huge. But the club image, the new stand, the training facilities, he's got to be an incentive for players to join. And I think we're very unique in that example. You know, you only have to watch the Salford 92 documentary and their state of training where they train, and you compare it to Bragg, and you think, wow, I think we've got a massive coup here. So I think
something that's understated for players is Luke Norris and Chris Lyons would have played against and with for years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely.
And working under a recent player, that's the thing, and working under, England coach Mark Sampson. Like, that is a thing.
Yeah.
It is. It's obviously, it's a name you recognise. When he was appointed for us, it didn't work with all the different personalities we had at first. It's still a name that you just see Mark Sampson, like, really, that's him. Like, wow.
Exactly. Do you know what's so clever about these signings though? These three signatures. Obviously, I know Stevenage is on a loan, and obviously, you never know, might go back if he wants to rearrange his contract. He might. But what I like to call investment signings, right? Especially Luke Norris, they're players that we invest a chance in to sign them, that then in the long run they give success of football on the pitch. And that's one thing I really see when we signed these three boys, was that they're really clever signings. They are three lads that hopefully will invest the time in using in the squad, and are going to be a big part and picture of this project that we've got going on at Stevenage, hopefully can be successful for a few years. They are huge players. There's a question I want to ask you, boys, because I have been twiddling my thumbs all week about this. I even put a post on one of the forums the other day. With these three boys, what is your starting 11 team? Because
what we're talking, like, come the future, or Swansea, or like, it's difficult. These three players,
so
in most, you'd say, would walk in. Like, how can you drop any of a winning team right now?
This is why I think it's a really interesting debate, because down the line, let's say we get a month and a bit, what, with these three players and the team that we've got now, what would be your ideal team?
I think the Reed-Smith partnership has been producing for us, but I don't think it's sustainable for every game.
I agree, especially January and February. We know they're the real doggy butts.
Someone like Chris Lyons next to one of Jack and Arthur can prove really, really effective.
I agree with you completely.
And we are all admirers of Luke's contributions, but from my analysis of him, that thing, Stevens does the same thing. Scores his chances, and Stevens has that link up with Aitchison, and I think it was Aitchison's 10 goals before a screen last season. I think 50% were assisted by Stevens, and of Stevens' 12 goals last season, I think 4 or 5 were produced by Jack Aitchison, and I like that potential link up. And right now, why on earth would you drop Charlie Arthur? So I like Luke Norris, but I think for now, I want him to be the one off the bench when we're scrapping for our life, 2-1 up, we need a lead. Yeah, let's throw on someone at the tiring centre back who they don't want to play against, basically. So, for me, long term, potentially even for the cup game, the only cup side player is Stevens.
Sorry. Yeah.
So Chris Lyons is a definite one for me, and then
Who'd you bring lines in for?
I think
Reedy
Stevens
or Smith?
is one I'd severely look at. There has to be Smith, of course. None of these boys have played loads and loads of football. So
Yeah. I agree with you. I think for the cup game this Saturday, I think the players who have played the last couple of games deserve to play. I think, how can you drop Charlie Carter? You can't. You can't drop him. He scored 3. He should have 4 goals.
I don't think
3 games.
The one thing about the cup game is that I don't think you can play Reed and Smith. I think we'll get sort of lessons. To be honest.
Yeah, I think Lyons is the only change personally that I'd make. 'Cause obviously no one else really. They don't. It's not that they deserve to be dropped, but it's against the championship side. You're gonna need someone who's played against championship teams and has been around that sort of ability, and he got that reading of the game that maybe Jack Smith or Reed don't. They may do, and they may start, and they may play well. But I personally think, I do think Lyons is the best option.
Has the ball playing qualities, I see, but playmakers. So if we do create chances in that centre of the park, it's going to be through him. I would be surprised if we stick with a 4-4-2. I think we might go 4-4-1-1 just to stack out the midfield a bit, because the football Swansea play is, best way I can put it is that Barcelona, Swansea, 2011 vibes. Like, they will pass and play your part. So I think we need to stack out the midfield. I think their boss confirms Morgan Gibbs White's going to play. And for me, he's one of the most promising players in England. So for me, we need to stack out that midfield, and we need to do it with.
Do you know what?
And I don't think Arthur and Jack have enough.
I think one of the two maybe. I'll probably start. I'll probably more than likely say Reed over Smith just for this game. Obviously, no disrespect to him, but I just think Reed is a bit more mobile, and where you can't have two. I'm not saying that obviously Smith's really slow. He can get himself about, but with obviously Lyons, he's not exactly the fastest player in the world, and I think we need a midfielder who's more mobile, who will balance it, but also does a similar job. That's how I see it.
Not even necessarily Lyons. You could go in there and put one of Vincelot or Marshall. I don't see it being Marshall, to be perfectly honest. But I think it's got to be one of them. And hey, if we somehow get a 1-0 goal lead, Jack Smith is a superb option to bring off the bench, isn't it?
I'm really looking forward to it Saturday. After
we're winning
the recent results, after the back-to-back wins and the 7 points in 9 games in the way, I'm really looking forward to it. What I'm really looking forward to is seeing how this team plays against, let's be honest, one of the second best team in the whole of the EFL. I'm very excited to see how we do. In terms of the new boys, down the line, they're such good players that you've got to say, at least 2 of them have probably got to start down the line. For me, Chris Lyons, I think he's a good shout for the weekend. He needs the game time. He's only played 4 games this season. He's got a goal on the board as well, but he needs game time. I think it'd be a really good game for Chris Lyons to play, and he's not cut tied either. I agree about the Jack Smith and Arthur Reed. Working at the minute, but January and February football in League 2. We're not going to have a lot of very physical. No. But down the line, in a month, I love Luke Norris. I think he's a cracking player. And I'd really like to see Luke Norris play. And I'm very excited to see Matthew Stevens play, because I've seen things of Stevens online. He looks like a real kind of pitballish type of striker.
Newt, but younger with a bit more conviction.
I like
him. No disrespect to Newt, but he's him with a bit more conviction, it seems.
Isn't he an extra as well?
Yeah,
he is.
Stevens is got
that about him, and I'm very excited to see him in the Stevenage play. I think he's going to be a real dark horse that's going to score a few goals for us.
I think he's the one. He's
at the end of the season.
We were interested in before for a screen got in, and he's a player I've kept a close eye on because I've always kind of been an admirer of him. Strong. He kind of suits big, strong, and physical. To be honest with you, imagine him and Norris. He's quick. He's good at making the run off the defender's shoulder, which is that could be such an advantage with the ball playing of lines of Jack Smith. We've seen it a few times from Jack Smith now, with the balls coming in from Pet and Aitchison and stuff like this. And Stevens is someone that really, really suits how we want to play. And as Dan rightly pointed out, he's probably, and I mean this with all the respect with Newts in the world, he's Newts with more technical ability.
There's a bit more conviction.
Well, what I like about
conviction.
What I like about the three signings are, one, they're all league level signings. They're not players that haven't really played league. Had a few games in League Two, but haven't really. They're all, when you say the name of Luke Norris, everyone in the league knows who that is. When you say the name of Chris Lyons, everyone will know who that is. When you say the names of Stevens, to some degree, a lot of people know who that is. So, for me, the great thing about these three players are they're all well-established Football League players. So, for me, that is key for us and going forward. And to kind of confirming our status as a Football League club and using our momentum to build on that in the next few years. But that's what I really like about these three. I think as for Saturday, again, I'd like to see Chris Lyons play. I'd like to see Chris Lyons play. I'd like to give him minutes. And I think we need a bit of quality in there. A bit of real ball experience quality in there. So I'd look to play Lyons on Saturday. But we have to talk about it. FA Cup third round. It's been a couple of years, isn't it? I think our last FA Cup third round was Reading, wasn't it? Where we took them to
that was literally 3
years
ago today.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? 3 years ago, I remember that because for the first half in the replay, we were both playing in the same colours. Do you remember that? And then, I think they put orange on, didn't they?
I just won't forget how we absolutely slaughtered them.
In the first leg,
Like, Jack King's volley comes to mind.
And
been in the North Terrace for that.
I remember in the replay having a perfectly good goal ruled out from Matty.
But come on,
could have been? I think that could have kept goal job.
Yeah, it probably could. But come on, it's so great. You boys probably say this. I love supporting Stevenage in the FA Cup. It's like no other. It's a special competition. That would be in the third round with all the other Premier League sides. Great for us. Swansea, but I will say this. One, anything can happen in the FA Cup, as we saw against Hull. Anything can happen. And two, we're winning our home games. And any team isn't going to want to come to the Lamex and play at the minute because we look very good at home and we're building some form at home. So I think the time's winnable. I think it'd be crazy for anyone to say that it's not winnable because the FA Cup, anything can happen. It's going to be a cracking time to see it. I really want you quickly, instead of going through the team land, I really quickly want your prediction of Saturday.
We're winning.
And I want you to be completely honest with this prediction. I'll go with you first, Ruben.
Don't get me wrong, it's a difficult time. I think Swansea have so many injuries today.
I love that. I love it. Sorry, I hate the button. I love that. He's like, we're winning. And he's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a very difficult time.
Like a lot of Swansea's second team were actually injured, so we might have to face a few of their first team. But I just think it matters more to us, and there's no disrespect to Swansea. I'm sure they'd love an FA Cup run, but I just think there's the hunger from us at the minute, and FA Cup magic can show. So yeah, I really I have no logical reasoning to believe we're going to win, but the FA Cup isn't about logic. We're winning.
Yeah. Score?
Oh, that's putting me on the spot, isn't it, Charlie? Jesus.
That's what we always do.
2-1 after extra time.
Oh, imagine that 4th round try. Wow. Love you. Go on then, Dan, what's your prediction?
Well, I mean, I'm being a little bit more realistic with a little bit of hope. I'd say we'd nick a goal, but I think if they are playing against a few of their first teams, their stronger team, and obviously said they're no pushovers, and they're not a team in the league that would in that league that you think, oh yeah, they're winnable. I don't think it's winnable. I think
they'll come to us expecting.
I think they'll win 3-1. I think it's 3-1.
Oh, that's horrible.
3-1 to Swansea.
I think it will be. So I don't want it to be, but I think it will. That's just
okay. No, that's
just being logical, sadly.
Screw logic. It's the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt.
2 games in a row. We're unbeaten.
I reckon we could. I massively reckon we could, but.
You know what? I'm feeling that we're on this massive momentum train at the minute where we're winning games and picking up points. The home form is been very positive for us. We've signed these 3 boys who started finding the winning formula to our football and playing really good football. I'm optimistic about it. For me, first and foremost, before the result, I want to see us play well because I think for the team to play well against Swansea, who are second in the Championship, that is a massive confidence thing for the team, first and foremost. And I think that to keep playing well, to keep this good football going along, that would be a really important thing for me before the result. For the result, if we win, it's
incredible.
Look, we've said it, haven't we? We've just won. We're massive for the team. But to win a game like this at home is just a crazy thing for the team to do and a confidence thing to do. And we talk about momentum in football. Well, wow, that is going to push us even further forward because it would be huge for the team in the setup to win. You see our Stevenage in the 4th round, the money.
You see it so often, though, don't you? These sides that are lingering around the bottom and then go and come into FA
massive,
Cup and then they pick
exactly.
Up.
But you know what? I see us doing that in the league, though. I see us climbing. I mean, we did it 10 years ago. We FA Cup with Newcastle. And we went on the run. Look what happened to us. We ended up in the playoffs.
We're doing it again. We're getting the playoffs.
Yeah.
God's sake.
I've said it. I see us trying to fish. For me, prediction, tough game. It's very tough. I think it will be. I'm going to go for 1-1 normal time. I think we'll be 1-0 down in the game, and I think we score in the last 15 minutes. Very similar to what we did at school.
Charlie's gone full on Mr. Meg.
And I think it will stay extra time, and I think we'll go to penalties for the third time. And I had a sneaky feeling we might win again on penalties.
Oh, we must have mastered 10.
I've got this funny thing. I've got this funny feeling that we're going to win all our 3 cup finals on penalties.
If it goes to the penalties, we would have had as many penalty shootout and losses this season.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just as long as we put a counter ourselves.
I'm not even going to lie. I think I'll die.
Yeah, as long as we're able to make a good account of ourselves, as long as we flatter ourselves, we don't make them look like they're this massive team. We don't make them look like a championship team. We just
make it
put some heart into it.
That's all
make it a cup tie. Because even with a 3-1, I know it sounds worse than it is, but it's one where maybe
let's be fair, no one really cares about the result, as in no one's going to berate us if we
I
lose.
just don't want to get humbled. In fairness,
No, I think
that's
the
about
most
it, really.
important thing, for us, go out there, play well, play our football. Let's be proud of our performance. Whatever happens with the result, look, we can win the tie. It's great that we're involved in the round, and we should enjoy that as because, for a smaller club, it's always great to get confirmed in the FA Cup. Let's play well, let's take positives no matter what the result, because I really think we've got a real good chance of climbing this League 2 table in the next few months, and let's use this as a site to, keep building on the good things that we've been doing of late. So whether that's winning the tie, which would be amazing, but if not, let's play well, give a good account of ourselves, and let's FA Cup football. It's a magical competition. Anything can happen. We're winning games at home.
And also, this is coming at a really good time. Sorry, you go.
I imagine we have a bit more FA Cup feeling in the camp than they do, because they're like, we got Stevenage. It can only go one way for them, really. They either do what's expected or they fail. Whereas it's all on them, all the pressure's on them.
Yeah.
Just like Hull.
Yeah. I just think we're in a cracking place at the minute. Anything can happen on Saturday, but I think the one thing that's for sure is we're all going to be very proud, and we're all going to be sitting there with our red and white Stevenage colours on, supporting the boys on Saturday, because it's a massive tie for us, and money for the club again. Being on
I was just going to mention. I was going to say it's come at a perfect time as well, because it just as we got into January. Obviously we've had a couple of stuff. We've already had I'll probably say our headline signings for the month, but I would imagine we'd get a couple more bodies in. And
there'll be one or two more.
Any money from this will only do us good. Maybe even change our minds about different targets we want. Maybe just a stronger target, I guess. Even if we win, lose, draw, whatever. We win on penalties.
The players might watch us and go, Jesus, these are a good team.
These are all right. I wouldn't mind playing for these.
I'd do these or something along them lines.
Let's give a good account of ourselves, because again, I really see us climbing this League 2 table, and I think to keep doing the good things that we've been doing of late is so important for this team, for the confidence and the building of this team on the pitch. So for me, look, result regardless, I want us to give a good account of ourselves and play well. But look, it's the FA Cup, anything can happen. We are winning our home games, and we're winning at home in our cup games as well. So I believe we can do it. I believe we've got quality to do it, and I'm very excited to see how we do. It's going to be a cracking day Saturday, and it's great to be involved in the third round as always. Really good to discuss that. Really good. Now, normally we come on to the question set, but it's actually my fault. I forgot to tweet out asking for questions.
You're a disgrace.
So we don't have any questions tonight. So what we're going to do?
Okay, I'll just throw one in.
So I was going to ask. I wanted Reece to ask, because you're a very good question. So I wanted you to ask me and Dan, and we're just going to do one big question. But I want it from you, Reece.
Okay. I feel like I keep asking this question, but obviously we've had the 3 good incomings. Both Revs and Phil have said 1 or 2 more. What business do you want to see done incomings? And then,
what business do I want to see done?
Is there anyone you'd like to see go out on loan permanently?
Do you know what? To be completely honest with you, I think the 3 signings that we've made were all needed. I certainly felt like we needed a Chris Lyons type player in the midfield, which I think was very much needed. I felt like we needed 2 well-established Football League strikers. Well, we've got that now. I look at the team. You could say, if Romeo Hutton's out and has gone back, maybe you like that, but Luther's there, and to be fair to Luther, recently he has played well.
I think we have to mention Louis as well. That could
Louis.
I'm going to be for me a winger. I think because for me, Pet, we should look long term for Pet to become a number 8. And
to be honest
for me, we
with
do need a winger.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I could play winger. God's honest truth. I'm pretty content. I'm pretty content with the team. With those three boys, I'm pretty content with the team, to be honest with you. Yeah, possibly another winger, but I'm pretty content. I don't think that team goes down, to be honest with you. So I'm happy.
Who would you like to see leave permanently?
Would you like to see go out? I'd like, obviously, Dananga went, although I like Dananga.
I'm very happy for Dananga because I hope to see him next season.
Yeah, he's a player I think majority of fans, it's one thing we can almost universally agree with. He deserved more minutes. We wanted him to have more minutes, and minutes will only do him good. And I think he could be a decent player for us come next year or come next few years.
I think Dananga could be here next season. I like Dananga. I think he's got a lot of potential. For me,
I do hope.
For me, I'd like to see Effiong go out and loan again. To be honest with you, now that we've got Norris, Stevens.
Sell it. No, Norris and Stevens are here till the end of the season.
Yeah, we've got to sell. Possibly Aki one day, although I'd like Femi with what I've seen. I don't see him getting in the team. I'm sorry. I don't see Femi getting in the team. I feel for Femi.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for him because I don't doubt that obviously we see a player in there, and it's just a fact of if he wants to be playing regular football, or just if he wants to play any sort of regular football, we'll have to move him on, and I don't want to because he's one I liked seeing when we did have him in. When he started a few games. I think, did he start the Harrow game? I'm not sure whether he did, but
he did, and
he did. Yeah, he did. He started those two games, and he started. It was more the Grimsby and Harrow games. Yeah, that too. And a few of the games that he started in the trophy. He showed signs. And honestly, I really wish he could get more minutes, but it's just not to be. I guess it's just one of those that won't work out.
Personally, we should go out as well.
I would, in the nicest possible way, to me look to offload Femi and Anthony. I think for me the issue is, and you can see it on the ice below, Revs and Mark had to walk them 3 games. Innie's 29 and Femi's 25. He's not a young kid, Femi.
There's more room for improvement with him. So
just for me, they're players who have ability, clear, but it's ability I'd like to see if they was 21 and 23 and this kind of thing. And I feel, for me, I just feel we shouldn't have to walk 20, late 20s players through games.
But again,
that's not what they're for.
Yeah. Again though, in terms of the team that we've got now after the 3 new signings of Chris Lyne, Stevens and Luke Norris, I'm very happy with how this team looks. Do you know what? I'll be completely honest with you. I'm more than happy. There is more than enough in this team. To be fair with you, I thought there was actually enough in the team originally to keep us up. But now we've signed Lyons, now we've signed Norris, now we've signed Stevens. I think there's more than enough in this Stevenage team to actually climb the league table rather than just stay up. I'm hoping with the setup we've got. Honestly, honestly, I'm on board with what Reece said. Is maybe a winger in because I don't see Pet as a out and out winger because
Stephen said it himself, he said, "I'll do what I have to for the team, but I'll put myself not out wide."
Yeah. And it's just I'm not being rude when I say this, but the last few games when he has been put on the wing, right midfield, whatever he's been instructed to do, he's not been fantastic. Obviously, he's put himself about. We can see his ability there. You'd miss him if he wasn't there, but in the future, I'd look to push him in the middle and have a out and out winger, someone that's his position.
Do you know what? For me, in terms of the team, I'm actually more concerned about keeping the players for next season. I'd love us to keep the Norrises and the Stevens and the Aitchisons and the Tom Petts. I'd love those boys to stay next season.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Pett is going anywhere. I think the long term
because that's my point, right? But my point is, because I feel like we can end the season really well with the momentum we'll have going into next season. I believe next season could be a really exciting season. So for me, it's almost about keeping the players for next season and keep building this team. That's what I'm more concerned about with this season, because I really do believe we'll stay up this season. I just think it's the next season. Can we keep hold of those players?
I think something for me with working off Dan's point about Pett is, it appears the plan for Listy is out wide. I think Listy will be put on the right. I think he's best there. That's where he done really well against Hull. We spoke about last episode about integrating List. We can't do that with Pett and Aitchison on the wings.
No, we can't, can we?
That's why another one.
I think Pett's a very. I think Pett's such a creative player, isn't he? He goes very well through the middle.
Yeah, he went up with Lincoln in the midfield next to Mark O'Hara, who I kind of compared to a mix between Vincent and Smith, really. But yeah, for me, the long term, and I tweeted it out, would be Pett in the middle. So if we can start that off, that'd be great. I think the winger needs to come in. I've said, I don't like Listy out wide unless it's kind of an inside forward role.
But you can't really play that when you're playing a 4-4-2, can you? You need some cover.
I don't think we'll be playing 4-4-2 forever.
But honestly, I know you said you like to see the inside forward role, but down that right side against Gunthorpe, after Listy came on, and him and Luther on that right side, it seemed to work quite well because Listy has got that defensive mind in there. So I think that's some of the thinking as to why he can cover as well.
Well, I think the really important thing to having a really good balance inside is having players that can come off the bench. And the one thing now that we have with the 3 players in time, we have it anyway, to be honest with you. But now the one thing that we have with the 3 players signing is, we look at the team as a whole, there's depth in the side now. And the bench is going to be a really competitive place for places as the starting 11 will be. And that's a good thing that we need. We've got a lot of depth now. There could be a game where we turn up and play, you can literally turn up and play Carter, Newton, or let's just say as a top, just keep that as normal. In another way, we could turn up with Norris, Stevens, and Aitchison. We've got so much depth that we've got that opportunity. And not only have we got depth, key for me, the players that we've got in the depth now are Football League players, not players like Young who have made the step up. These boys are Football League quality. That's it.
Yeah, I think.
I know we compared say Guthrie to Norris, but Norris has done it a lot longer, and it's not been as much as his hot flashes it seems to be. He is a consistent. He'll get you between 8 and 15 goals per season, and for League 2, League 1, just lower Football League standard. That's all. Like, it's difficult to find that sort of striker.
Yeah, I agree.
Do it consistently, and I do think he'll get 5 or so goals for us by the end of the season, and I'd happily take that in, even if in all competitions. I'd take that as even if they say 5 in 20. One in 4, 1 in 3. I'd happily take that every day of the week, because that's what we've been missing. We've been missing that obviously since like Rev joined. He was never the most prolific, but he was a player that you know that he'll get you goals. You know he'll almost guarantee it.
I think that's it. The big thing for me, Rich, is
in the box. And Rev
I think the big thing for me and Rich is that it's exciting times. I think we are now, as a football club at Stevenage, we are now going forward. And it's going to be very exciting to see how we do in the last 26 games of the league season. I'm more than sure that we're going to stay up. And it's going to be really exciting to see if we can finish with a real bit of momentum push taking it to next season. But no, really good question, Rich. That was really good to discuss that. Boys, have you enjoyed it today?
Massively.
Fun. I ask it every week, but we always have really good fun talking about our beloved Stevenage Football Club, don't we? But boys, I've got to be honest, thank you ever so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and fingers crossed for Saturday that we can cause a massive cup upset and build even more memories for this season. Eh?
Just size, we're winning.
I know I predicted what I did, but if we do get the win,
there's going to be a lot of alcohol sold in Stevenage if we win.
It's going to be amazing for our Stevenage.
Would you boys want to win next round?
It's got to be Liverpool, isn't it? Well, the thing is, none of us will be able to go. So that's the only disappointing thing. But if our Stevenage win Saturday in the FA Cup, it will be a massive moment for the club and a real proud moment as well, knowing that what we've been through and we've come out the other end. I think that's what I'm really proud about. We as a football club have probably had one of the worst years as a football club, and we're still here. We're still fighting and we're still progressing, and I think that's a massive thing for us. Very, very proud moment. Fellas, thank you so much for joining me today. Absolutely, really good podcast.
Always is a pleasure.
Absolutely, thank you so much. Thank you to all listeners to today's podcast. We'll be back next week for episode number 16, where we're hopefully discussing Boro's fourth round draw and an amazing win of the weekend, and the big build up to another really big home game in Leeds against Tranmere. So fingers crossed. Fellas, have a really good week. Thank you ever so much for coming on. Thank you to all the listeners. You have been listening to the Stevenage Football Club podcast.